first one to share his profile really fast was Jinkya. And Jinkya, honestly, great profile. I really like the fact that you have a clear profile picture which shows like your face, and it should be a professional picture, which it is. I really like that you have a background which says what you are looking for, what you're passionate about, and your headline is also really clear. The one thing I would recommend is if you if you think that would definitely help, if you keep correcting your name to other folks, also there is a way to add your pronunciation here on your LinkedIn profile, which you can try. As I scroll down, I see that you have an about section. Let me just have a look at it. All right. Oh, a bunch of information here. So my suggestion, keep it crisp. In this sense, you have written that you have an extensive knowledge of certain technologies, and certain frameworks. You're designing, building, active contributor, etc., etc. All right. So again, it depends. If you're looking for roles in the particular technologies that you mentioned, then this is a good about section. But if you're looking for like full stack roles in general, and what you want to do is highlight the work that you've already done, you can also post something about AppDirect. Now, you've already posted that you were a SDE at AppDirect. I would love to know what kind of work you're doing at AppDirect as well. I know that it's down at the bottom, but if it's something important, you can highlight that in the about section because it would be great. Anything that you post in your headline should have something in your about section, because there's a disconnect which a lot of recruiters want to, deep dive into. So great. You have posted about a bunch of technologies here, and you have posted about the work that you've been doing. All right, so you posted about the skills that you had, and as an associate software developer, I would love to see the project that you worked on. What kind of project you worked on as an associate software developer? If you had certain responsibilities, would love to hear about them as well. Because there is an additional skills section at the bottom of LinkedIn, which you already have. And as I assumed, you already have those skills there, right? So skills can be searched through that. But what kind of work you did is something that I would never know. Unless, of course, I invite you for an interview. So just put something in there so that people can ask you those questions. I see that you already have some links, and all right, you already have some certifications as well. That's great to see. Some volunteering, licenses, skills, recommendations. All right, from one look here, I think, hold on, let me quickly check. So these are internship certificates, right? All right, if there's anything that you're absolutely, what I couldn't see was like an honors and achievement section. So what I would suggest, if in this particular experiences, if you had anything that you were proud of, even if it was not like an actual award, but it's an achievement that you're proud of, I would like to see a different section for it. Because there's a lot of information here on your experiences section, and it would be great if you can divide it into different segments so that it's easier for the recruiters to know. They'll just scroll through it. So a LinkedIn profile is just like a resume, but just think of it as the recruiters would give it like 2 more seconds than a resume. That's all. So if you have those segments already divided and you make the recruiter's life easier, it's great. Overall, a great LinkedIn profile. But yeah, that's just a few tips that I have. All right, the next profile that I have is Manas. Okay, so Manas, you have a quote here. I believe that that's a quote that you believe in. Great, awesome. Yes, you can. I think it's great to have at least one background picture, but if it's a background picture that's a quote that you truly believe in, just make sure that you are absolutely passionate about it, because it might be asked in one of the interviews that you actually shared this quote. So do you have a story behind it? People would love to know more about that. Anyways, talking about your headline, absolutely great. Short, crisp, to the point. You're talking about what kind of work you do, what kind of work you're looking for, and what kind of things you talk about. So that's pretty great. You also have a good activity section, which is nice. Seems like you have been posting a lot. And then your about section seems a bit weak because there's like just one line. But again, it's just about what you're working on right now, TechRow. I also saw that you're an ex-founder, which is absolutely great for some people. Like some people are looking for ex-founders or founders or anyone who's done a certain sort of experiences. So if you want, you can actually put also another line about what experience you had as a founder for NFT Stalkers. So again, people sometimes don't scroll down below. That's the reason I highly focus on about section. And that's something that I've heard from a lot of recruiters, which might be helpful to you. All right, awesome. Oh, I see that you have some great credibility in terms of licenses and certifications, as well as education. So overall, a great profile. I think you have done an incredible job with what you have from your experiences section. As I can see, you've already mentioned the tech stack. You've already mentioned some responsibilities about what you've done. So I would say that this particular profile, instead of like giving a lot of feedback on how to improve this profile, I would like to give everyone else a little feedback on how you can actually create your about section, where you also mention the tech stack, but also mention what skills you worked on, like what project you worked on. So basically, what I believe is, as a developer, your GitHub profile is actually important. But here is the deal. If you are a student developer, it's absolutely essential that you like work a little bit in open source, in the sense that you have certain projects, or if you're working on projects, just post them up on GitHub. So everybody uses GitHub in their own way. And it always, because you're a developer, it definitely is a great platform for you to showcase your skills. So personally, I believe that GitHub is the best way to show proof of work, because A, you can show your own projects on the GitHub profile, and B, you can show if you've worked on some other projects, as well as if you've done some sort of open source contributions, or if you've worked on somebody else's project, or let's say if you worked on a hackathon project together and you just added that on somebody else's GitHub profile. So it shows proof of work. And so if you've done a project, I would highly recommend you posting it on GitHub and then sharing the link on your LinkedIn profile as well. When you post it about your projects at the end, there's a different section for projects as well, by the way. So there are a lot of communities who have their projects running. There are a lot of programs that are running, which are specific to open source. For example, MLH Fellowship is a great internship alternative if you're looking for that, where you can work on some open source projects and you get a stipend while working on it. At the same time, you get connected with a bunch of folks from around the world who can actually see your work. So that's a great way to go about it. And the other thing is that a lot of companies have their projects open sourced. Even Google has some great projects open sourced, where you can just contribute to their project, learn more about the tech stack, work with the teams to work and Google engineers together. But that's just one example. There are companies who have their entire projects open sourced, which is a great way for you to get started. If you're looking for opportunities in that particular company, contributing to their project definitely establishes proof of work, and then also gives you a chance to connect with the mentor, talk to them about potential job opportunities, see if they're hiring, see if you can help them out in some other way, even if they're not hiring. And so that's just like one way that I can suggest, one or two ways that I can suggest on getting a job through open source. There are also communities and conferences for open source specifically that you can be a part of, because there are like contributors. There are also other folks and companies who join those conferences to talk about what their next project looks like. And if that is something that you're interested in, it would be a great way to connect.